In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 interviewing tips that will make you pass any interview that you attend. And of course, I'll add some 2 more bonus tips that will make you ace all the job interviews. I have been blessed that I've been in a position to help several people get jobs. Take a look at this email that I got from Chep Kurui. She told me, "Hello, Daniel. Thank you for always sharing how to answer questions in an interview. In the beginning of this year, I secured a job that I have been dreaming to be a registry officer. Now I am one. Thank you and be blessed." You might be the next person sending me such a message. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to Daniel Mutuku Show, where I help professionals become successful in their careers. And if this is your first time here, subscribe to my channel, press the bell button so you can get to know each and every time I release a new video. Looking for a job is quite tough, and after you have done a very good application, sending in your cover letter and your CV, you are invited for a job interview. Don't let that job interview be the reason why you don't secure the job. And here are the 3 main tips that you need to follow to be able to pass any job interview. Tip number 1, you should always dress appropriately. You don't get a second chance to give a first impression. So always dress officially when you're going for that interview. Go all the way out to make a very good first impression. If you're a gentleman, put on a suit. If you're a lady, of course, get any professional suit, skirt suit, trouser suit. You know what best works for you. Number 1, when it comes to dressing, make sure you have it toned down, not those bright colored kind of clothing. Just have a black, dark blue, navy blue, or a gray suit. That would work well. Tip number 2, make sure you get there on time. When I'm doing interviews, I don't forgive anyone who comes late for the job interview, even if they are the most qualified candidates. So ensure you get there at least 1 hour early so that you can beat all the other emergencies that can show up. Traffic jam, accident, it rains, you name it. If the interview is to be held at 10 a.m., try to be there at around 9 a.m. so that you can also feel relaxed when you're getting into the interviewing room. Tip number 3, when you get into that interview room, mind your body language. You talk a lot by what you do with your body, even louder than what you say with your mouth. So mind about your body language, be very open, don't be timid, don't close yourself in, and that of course makes you look less confident. Use your body language to enhance what you're saying with your words. You would see some people, there is a little bit lack of congruency based on what they're saying and what their body is also saying. Now, when you get into that interviewing room, I would say 3 things really matter. It is how you prepared for that interview, and that is going back, looking at the job application you sent and the CV you sent. I'm assuming you have several versions of your CV, so that you just get to understand what is it that they saw in your application that they wanted you to come in to this interview. Then you prepare and practice. And that brings me to my bonus point number 4. Expect the unexpected. So when you're preparing, there's some things that you assume they will happen in an interview. Then you practice. But then when you get into that interviewing room, you might be asked a question which is totally out of your range. You didn't think about it. You did not even practice. So learn how to take care of the unexpected. But you might be in a much better position, and this is something I tell all my clients, to think through some of the questions that you expect to be asked in an interview and start preparing these answers in advance. You might not be asked all the questions, and even if you're asked a question that you practice, it might not come out as you had practiced. But it is way better to practice and have a slightly bad version of the answer than not practice at all and then mess it up. There are certain questions that you expect in an interview. Tell us about yourself. 99.99% of the interviews that you attend, that will be the first question, and how you answer that question will set pace to the rest of the interview. How much should we pay you? Why are you leaving your previous employer? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? I have done several videos on how to answer these very specific questions in an interview. I put the link in the description of this video, or you might be watching this in a playlist. It is important for you to prepare for the unexpected by first going through some of the questions you might be asked in an interview and then preparing for them. And my fifth bonus point, or the second bonus point, which might be the fifth one if you're counting all of them, it is to always ask questions. At an interview, most people expect it to be getting questions from the panel and you answering. And then at the end, they might ask you, do you have any question for us? And then you're like, what do I say? Always prepare some questions to ask. I've done another video on the 10 questions that you might ask in an interview. It's up here, I've linked it also down here. So make sure you also watch that video. So in summary, these are the 5 things you need to do to prepare for an interview. Number 1, dress appropriately. 2, arrive in good time. Number 3, mind your body language. Number 4, expect the unexpected. And finally, ask questions. Also, take a look at this video on how to answer the question, tell us about yourself. Like this one, subscribe to my channel and leave a comment. And until my next video, I'm out.